Hey everybody, welcome to the Foundry South. I'm here at the Austin School of Music with the Director of Operations, Jasmine Jew, and Specialty Instructor, Ben Mendez.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. Why did you choose Austin as a place to live and develop your artistry?
Well, we're from Brownsville, Texas, so very South Texas, and Austin seemed like a really great place to foster our creative intentions.
Yeah, music capital of the world, so figured it was a place to be.
All right. How would you describe the Austin music scene overall?
I would say the Austin music scene has, I've seen a lot of community come through it, and it's been really nice to get to meet other bands in the area and the connections you make and the friendships you make that will last years. You know, even if you just saw a band member at a show who happened to be there by chance, and now you're buddies doing an interview.
It feels like in other cities, the music scene is very competitive. Here, it seems to be more of a system of support and camaraderie. Would you agree? And why do you think it's different here?
I don't feel that the scene in Austin is very competitive. I do see that it is like a lot of networking and friendship wise, and people are just trying to lift each other up, especially in the genres that we're playing in, like alternative rock.
Yeah, I think a lot of bands realize that we all want the same thing. We all want, especially an original band, we want to write our tunes and we want to play them out to our friends once in a while. So I think that's where a lot of the camaraderie comes in, especially even like booking shows. You see that a lot in bands. Everyone's usually pretty excited about it and wants to help out.
I do feel like Austin is more like that than other
Mm-hmm.
cities, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. I mean, I've definitely been in other cities where like the biggest band there was a cover band doing like Incubus tunes. That's a thing. All right, so let's talk about Tarantula Mountain as a band. It's a great band name. Where did the band name come from?
Um, so I have a list of just cool names that'll come to me, where I'll just write it down, and it was actually one of the names I was going to use for another project, and I love the name. Um, it didn't get used, so I started a solo project that I was working on with a loop pedal, and I was like, such a cool name, I'm gonna name it that. So that was the original start of Tarantula Mountain, and then of course it evolved after that. But yeah,
I feel like we all have that sheet, but mine just sucks. Mine sucks, dude. I don't know, but Tarantula Mountain's good. All right, so how would you describe Tarantula Mountain's music to someone who's never heard it before?
I feel like our music would be classified as like late 90s, early 2000s alt rock, in the vein of like a Perfect Circle or Garbage, I guess.
yeah, like a artsy, heavy alternative rock.
I definitely hear a lot of cool '70s guitar harmonies in
Oh,
there
yeah.
too. So there's that influence as well, and I really appreciate all of the things that are happening. So we know about Tarantula Mountain starting off as you working it out with a loop station, but tell me about the evolution to two members.
Oh.
So I feel I kind of hijacked Tarantula Mountain from him, it being just a solo project, because I was begging him to work on something, separate from Tombstone Union at the time. And at the end of Tombstone Union, we brought on our drummer from Tombstone into Tarantula. And then later on, we brought in a vocalist to join us. And at the beginning of 2020, in March, we were in the process of reforming at that time and just kind of figuring out if this was still the project we all wanted to continue on. And a couple of our members decided not to carry on with us. So during quarantine, he and I started spending a lot more time just playing music together and doing acoustic versions of our songs to entertain ourselves and also reach out to our friends and family that we couldn't necessarily see as often, and thus the new birth of Tarantula.
How has the band's sound evolved over time?
When we first started, it was a much heavier, because of contamination. It was a much heavier sounding band. But right after that, the next few songs, that's when it really started to evolve in what the band was going to sound like. Now I feel like the songs are a lot more melodic, not quite as metal sounding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where now it really feels like we've gotten into like that 90s alternative rock sounding.
Gotten into a good groove.
Yeah.
Awesome. How would you say that Austin itself has influenced Tarantula Mountain?
I guess lyrically, I've been able to contribute more lyrics to this project than I have in other projects that we've done. And I think a lot of the lyrical content is based on like behavior of our fellow neighbors, and just like my kind of overview on like how I see the city.
Right on. What other projects are y'all involved in currently?
We have an artistic project called Acoustic Canvas, where we host. Well, we used to host these community gatherings with local artists and incorporating acoustic music, and now we're moving that to an online format. So we welcome all artists and musicians, local and otherwise, to contact us, and we can try to expand our Austin community outwards.
Sounds great. So what's it like to be a married couple in the same band? And as business partners?
It's fun. I feel like we do definitely have to put a line in between our relationship and like our projects, so that way we can, we will respect each other and try to stay as professional when we're in business.
Yeah, we're pretty good at separating the difference between, whether, because we also work together.
Right.
So, yeah, we're pretty good at separating when it's being professional and when it's not. Yeah.
Awesome. So you would say it's made some things easier, right? I mean, in the context of, having that direct relationship with somebody and being able to talk to them about it.
It's definitely brought us a lot closer together, I think. When we first started dating, you weren't playing bass.
I didn't play.
You didn't play at the time, and I think I was in 4 or 5 bands at the time, and it was a question like, why are you always practicing? Why are you always and now that she plays, well, you get it.
I kind of
the
started
love of music. You get hooked, and you want to write, you want to jam, you want to make some noise, and now we're doing it together. So
I would hang out at the practices, and Tombstone Union was in between bases. I'm like, hey, I could come and pick up a bass and hang out for a little bit. How hard could it be? I did not know what I was signing up for. So that was interesting, but it's cool because now I get it. I'm like, you need practice? I'll see you later. Or we're practicing together. We spend a lot of time writing and like bouncing ideas off each other, and so that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we've known each other for a few years, and we've played some shows together too. Have y'all noticed anything different in the Austin music scene in the time that you've been involved in it?
I've seen quite a few bands come through that are just like going out to support other local bands, and it's been really neat to network that way, and just seeing like how other musicians will support fellow musicians, even if it's not the genre that you're super into. You just want to go out and help people feel supported, I guess.
I feel like that's really common in the Austin music scene.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at any given time, there's at least 3 bands watching you play.
Oh yeah.
And not that it necessarily are just playing that night.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So you both teach at the Austin School of Music. What would you tell people about the music school?
I am so proud of this school. We've been open for 25 years. I've only been a part of the school for 3. John's been here almost 15. And our school is it's the longest running in Austin. We also have a staff comprised of entirely professional musicians that are performers. And the students that come to our school or attend lessons are looking for they're looking for like general instruction, but I feel like our program is based more around making sure that you get what you want out of the lesson. So if you're looking for a certain type of personality to learn from, or you just need a good, cheerleader on your side, in addition to getting like interaction with actual people that are performing in the industry, so they know they're not going to sugarcoat it. You're going to get prepared for like actual gigging and touring and writing and recording.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. That was the school is such a blessing because it's a rock and roll school. So how cool is that? When I was first starting out, some of the music it felt a little strict, and that's kind of the way you learned. But with an environment like this, you're still able to learn fundamentals and the way music works, but you're also able to learn music that you really like, and that can be really, really inspiring. Not to mention, over the summer we do a rock camp, so and that's so much fun. To be a rock and roll instructor for over the summer and have the kids and to see them, it's a 2-week course, and to see them go through learning all the songs, and then at the end of it they do a performance, usually at a venue, cameras, and
it's a 2-week crash course in forming a band, getting along with your band, recording. They get the full studio experience. Their tracks get released online, and then they have the performance ending at like Antone's. This year we're doing it at Come and Take It Live. So the kids they're getting like a good setup for the future.
Yeah, what I would give to be a teenager and
of
and hit the big stage,
Our students will go on to record their own albums. We've had like people that are working with Elton John that have come from the school and handpicked by Elton John to songwrite and play with him. It's crazy.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a blessing that we have this kind of school, a music school especially.
So what area of instruction do y'all specialize in?
Us personally?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just do the business part of it. John or Ben.
Well, you teach art classes, but I guess that's not here in the school.
We do. We're gonna start incorporating, in addition to like regular music classes, studio engineering classes, and even graphic design for flyer making for our students who are into that, and also light art instruction. So I would be heading over like the graphic design and artist instruction, and John focuses on guitar.
Yeah, all styles really. If it's got strings, I teach it. Guitar, bass, mandolin, banjo, ukulele, and all styles too. Everything from classical music, classical jazz, blues, rock, metal stuff.
That's good because I have a mandolin and I don't know how to play it.
Dude, I can show you.
That's great to know. All right. So as music teachers, have you observed anything that stands out about the next generation of musicians on the rise?
There's been some really cool things, and like I mentioned, rock camp before, to see these kids that are picking, especially some of the classic heavy rock metal stuff, they're still wanting to learn Led Zeppelin, Sabbath, and it's pretty incredible. A lot of times, where'd you even hear this? But that's really, really cool that some of these songs that I grew up listening to, these newer generations are definitely getting into. So
Do you feel like any of the stuff you're seeing from some of the younger students or some of any of the students at all is giving you kind of an idea what to expect from future genres at all? Or
I'm
give you a
seeing-
glimpse into what's coming?
So one thing that's actually really cool is that I feel like there's more females that are coming in playing instruments. It's awesome, especially to see them rocking out, playing heavy guitars, learning these songs. I think that's gonna really it's changing the way a lot of the music, especially in the future, music's going to be written. It's the way it's going to sound. That's pretty inspiring.
I do feel like we've encountered a lot more of the younger generation that is just so interested in like getting immersed fully in learning everything about their instrument, and they're like eating, breathing, sleeping guitar all the time, or piano or whatever it is. And we have a lot of students that are very passionate, and I don't remember growing up seeing that same kind of personally with a lot of my peers. So it's very cool to see how these kids will interact with each other. And in my role, I love cheering them on, and I love like picking out the kid that's shy, and I'm like, I'm gonna work on you, and like you boost them up, and then I've seen them just like flourish, and and then they've got their community of peers in their same age group that are doing the same thing.
How has being music teachers influenced your work as artists yourselves?
It's definitely brought my playing and even my artwork to the next level. You learn so much from teaching. I can probably go on for an hour and not explain everything. There's so much you learn from teaching somebody else, whether it's seeing some of their struggles and then you're applying it back to yourself, or even being asked a question you don't know the answer to, and now you got to look it up, and you learn something new, and that's daily for me. So I've learned, I've grown as a musician, as an artist. I'm still the same person, but the next level for sure. So grateful for that.
So your first video was released on January 21st. What was that experience like?
It's very exciting to have that music video. I can't wait to share it with everybody.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun making that video.
What was your vision or goal for the video?
Well, we were working with a local production company called Penny Rock Productions, out of Pflugerville, and they came up with the concept, and they were like, are you cool if we just take this and run? Sure, go for it. So our director, Boudreaux, he and I were kind of bouncing off like what I was looking to get out of it, and I told him specifically I wanted stuff along the veins of garbage videos that were directed by Samuel Bayer, which was one of his main influences for getting into film. And he was just like, great, I have so many ideas that'll work with this. So we kind of went with like a early 2000s teen movie prom theme.
Did the process of making the music video bring about any life to the song that you saw specifically?
It was definitely fun. We had actors that were involved in the video, specifically a coach that was screaming at me. And the audio of her screaming will not be in the video, but she was like, "You suck! You're the worst with your noise." And I was like, I gotta straight face, don't laugh, she's not even there. And it was really cool, I felt like, because it building up my thick skin for the future, to have someone like just right there screaming at me that I suck was like the biggest nightmare. We got through it.
What was the inspiration for the song Never There?
Lyrically, the chorus, the music, and even the lyrics was something that I had for many years. I had come up with, and I had it just set aside for the right time. The other half of the lyrics were my sister's. Um, I got the majority of her like of her diaries and her writings, and I've gone through and turned a lot of what she's written into like song form. So in going through that, I noticed the lyrics for Never There, and felt like it was missing a chorus. So I went through and it just lined up perfectly. It's beautiful when that happens. So lyrically, it's a combination of my sister's writings and mine. The music itself, it was I had already had one of the parts, and then so in lining those two up, it's one of those songs that came together very well.
How long did it take to record this song?
Oh man, I don't want to give a true answer to that.
We tracked the drums a couple of years ago, and we've only just now gotten around to actually finishing recording the song. So I want to say it's been about a month cumulative
Yeah,
to get the song recorded and mixed and mastered. And we recorded that at Antimatter Studios at Austin School of Music.
So now that you guys are working together, what is the writing process like? And if you want to tell me a little bit about that.
Usually I'll give myself the space for creative writing. And a lot of times it's me just sitting outside in the patio or just playing guitar, but not playing anything specific. Just sitting there, just trying to play things differently to see if anything stands out. And usually it's for whether it's like a chord progression or a riff or a musical part. I'm just playing and seeing if anything sounds good, and I'll record it, capture it, give it a name. That's the initial start of it, and then I'll after recording it, I'll let it sit for a little while, come back to it. Does it still sound good? Because sometimes it doesn't. If it does, then I'll write it out. And then from there, I'll see where it can fit with other songs that I've done that with. I also do the same thing with lyrics. I'll write down stuff, and I have just a bunch of different pages, and I try and see what matches not only the lyrical content but also melodically. Does it match with the music? You want to talk about maybe how your lyric writing?
So I'm a former emo kid, and I have a lot of like really sad journals that I recently unearthed, and I've been pouring through those and just kind of taking the bits and pieces that I like, so I can be done with that chapter in my life and keep all the good stuff. So just using a lot of that inspiration for writing, and that's my contribution to our project. I like doing the writing, lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
So would y'all say there are any themes that run through Tarantula Mountain's music?
This album, to be named in the future, it's kind of, I want to say it's like a love letter to our friend Gina, because we are using a lot of her lyrical content, and like this is kind of closing the door on Tombstone Union and opening up the brand new chapter of Tarantula.
We only have so many lyrics of hers, or so many writings, so it's the majority of the album, 75% of it probably are her writings. So that's what we're using for this album. The next album, there's already a couple of songs that we're planning for that, using her writings as well, but it won't be as much. We have so many to work with.
So Tarantula Mountain might be looking at a summer release. Can y'all tell us anything about that now?
Okay, so I guess for the summer release, we're looking to release our 13-song album, and we are gonna have just kind of like a full-on live stream celebration where we'll probably be incorporating a lot of live footage. We will also be showing our video, possibly 2 at that time, and it should be a good party. It'll be my first album release where I'm involved, so very excited.
Was there a particular show that you played that really stood out to you?
Our first show back, I think, was April 2016. That was like our first Tarantula gig.
Where was it at?
It was at the Highball, and it was really nerve-wracking because it was our first time playing as a 3-piece, and we didn't have a vocalist then, so it was just us 3. And I feel like that was definitely a step, like in growing stronger and more resilient. I feel like we had just gone through a lot of trauma at that time, and having lost Gina, and so for us to try to get back into the swing of things, so soon after, it was therapeutic.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
I'm trying to think of something that. I love every show that we play. I don't know if there's any that stand out. The more recent ones, really, for Tarantula, the more recent, even like the live streams, and those have been really, really nice. I like the format that the band has right now.
So when is the official release date of Never There, the music video?
We're having a video release party on January 22nd. Come and take it live. We are planning to live stream the whole thing, so everybody can watch from the comfort of their homes.
All right, class of 2020. The faculty hopes you're enjoying your high school prom. One quick announcement. Remember to stay 6 feet apart, and there's no smoking on school property. And now, the winners of our fall talent show, Tarantula Mountain.
The video, Never There. The people, Jasmine Jew, Ben Mendez of Tarantula Mountain. And here we are at the Austin School of Music. This is Jeff with Foundry South signing out. Goodbye.